right, domain finders, number 24. Let's take a look. Domain means all real possible x values, so there's two situations we have to look for. This is an undefined situation where the zero's in the denominator. Another undefined situation is when whatever is underneath the square root is negative. So these are the two that we're going to cover in this video. Well, for f of x, the first example, we need to worry about the denominator not being 0, so therefore x cannot be 4. So how do we express that? Well, the domain is that all real numbers except for 4 are okay. So how do we say? Well, we put a soft bracket around the 4. Negative infinity up to 4 is okay, and then 4 to infinity. These are the legal or possible x values. Here's a square root. What do we know about square roots? They cannot be negative, which means x plus 5 has to be greater than or equal to 0. So here the domain is any real number that is negative 5 or above, which means we have a hard bracket because negative 5 is included because we have the equal sign. All right. Now here's an interesting situation. We have both. We have a square root and we have a denominator. Well, the square root, x has to be greater than or equal to 0. Denominator cannot be 0, therefore x cannot be 25. So you can go from 0 to infinity, but you have to stop at 25. So you have to put this 0 to 25 union 25 to infinity. All right. Next situation, we're going to factor the denominator, x minus 9 times x plus 9. Therefore, here's our domain. And then the last two are a little bit goofy. Here's a situation where we don't have to worry. See, it says, can x squared ever be negative 81? In other words, will the denominator ever be 0? No, because this will always be what? Positive. Therefore, the domain is all real numbers, because this will never be negative 81. Therefore, the denominator will never be 0. And then here's an interesting one. Will the denominator ever be 0? No, because this will always be a square root, which will be 0 or above. So therefore, we only have to worry about the square root. Therefore, 0 to infinity, and we're all set. Questions, concerns? Check out the website, check out the email, and good times.